Welcome to Almost Functional Gaming. We aim to help all followers of Russ and the Allfather to improve on the tabletop. List building, tournament recaps, unit reviews, weekly council of the Fang, and other tips to help us all go from almost functional to fully functional. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional score tracker on Amazon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Here again with Aiden to talk
What is
Space
up?
Wolves. Yep.
Yeah, talking Space Wolves. We had some big changes this week.
Yep.
We got some big feelings. So, yeah.
Yep.
How you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to get the last of these Terminators painted up for the GT this weekend.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm excited for you. I'm really excited to talk about what we got in store for the Wolves.
Well, thanks for spending your morning with us, William.
Malaysia, the council is formed. That's right.
Yeah.
Wolf Lord Tuesdays. Wow.
What's the good word? Well, after the drops last week of rules, it's really just what's the mediocre word? It's not really too good word for us.
How do we cope? How do we pivot? What does it mean for us? I think there is one hidden change that we'll get into that I think is really important, a buff for us.
Yeah, there's a few things that are good for us, like on the back end, but not like right up front.
Yeah, but for everyone who doesn't know, what happened this week, Matt?
Yeah, here. Well, they dropped a bunch of FAQs, the new data slate, and some point changes in the new MFM.
All got dropped. Yeah.
So here's the field menu. We'll scroll down to what we care about the most first.
Runa, just a shout out. He says, here to chat about the update, but he's had great success running Wolf Priest and 6 shielded head takers. Yeah, honestly, I'm now considering head takers a lot more that Thunderwolf Cavalry are changed.
Yes.
In fact, one of my new iterations has a 6-man with a Wolf Priest. So, yeah,
so far down
I'm
here.
curious to see how we pivot.
All right, so generic Marines, because that kind of affects us. 6-man Aggressor went down, which nobody's been running, so that's not, at least not Wolves. 10-man Assault Intercessors went up. I think that's really more affects Raven Guard and Blood Angels. Ballistus went up 10. That affects pretty much all Marines.
Yeah, everyone.
Like to stick him in.
Yeah.
Blade Guard went up to 170. I was hoping head takers would become the same points as Blade Guard, but I was hoping they would do it the other way, make us 10 points cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper, exactly. But in the end, it all works out.
Land Raider and Land Raider Redeemer went down. It's kind of interesting.
A little interesting.
Yep. I know Z just won a GT, last month with double Land Raider, so that's cheaper now.
Yeah, odd.
Valiant went down to 150.
I can see Valiant now as an alternative to, Hammer Strike or, Ballistus.
Redemptor went down. I'm interested in that once I get back from the GT and playing around with the Heavy Terminator Champions of Fenris. I might try to put some Redemptors on the list.
Ooh, that could be really fun.
Yep. Gilliman went up. Good for them. Arjack went up 10.
Man, look! First of all, look at this page. It's so red.
No buffs.
Zero buffs. All red.
Ray Hunters, nothing. Blood Claws actually went up for the 20-man.
All the Dreadnoughts stayed the same.
Yeah,
the
Ragnar went up.
Got nerfed, stayed the same.
Yeah, we got no points drops. So Arjack went up 10, which isn't big, but, he's still worth it. 20-man Blood Claw, mostly a WTC thing. So
right.
That doesn't affect those who are playing GW terrain as much.
Well, I think there are some very viable builds with 20-man Blood Claws and Ragnar. Like, you can run that in Gladius or Beastlayer, and it's really good. But it got really nerfed for seemingly no reason.
Yeah. Well, it's just so hard to hide. I prefer, in those, just outflanking a 10-man and rapid ingressing them. And you still get there without the same amount of bodies after you run through whatever shooting.
Yeah.
Ragnar went up 10. And this is the one that hurts the most. Thunderwolves. Up 15 for the 3-man and 10 for the 6-man.
Oh man, that hurts. All of our lists were running at least 6, maybe 9, maybe even 12 or 15 if you're going really heavy.
Oh yeah,
this hurts a lot.
Oh yeah, my Gladius list went up a lot, so luckily I already switched from it.
I mean, my Iron Storm list went up like 55 points.
Yep.
I'm like, how? Like, what?
Yeah, luckily my Champion Defenders list only went up 10 because Arjack was the only thing in that because I just went Super
Yeah.
Terminator heavy. But the Beast Slayer list I was playing around with possibly doing after just got completely wrecked.
So where are these coming from? Like, why do you think GW pointed this at us?
I have no idea, especially looking at some of the people who didn't get hit. We're not winning a lot. Like, we had one GT with a weird double Land Raider build, and actually Land Raiders went down.
Land Raiders went down.
Yeah. So probably my only thought is we were really good into Eldar, and GW can't have that because Eldari is doing really, really well, and they really got points dropped on some key units. And like, unless you're running like, actually, that's something else. I'm gonna go back up here to Eldari. Let's run through some of this stuff. Sisters got some drops. They're one of the best things at beating wolves right now.
Sisters are amazing. I'm scared of Sisters.
Custode's got nothing but drops. That's a difficult matchup for us.
It is, yep.
AdMech got some ups, but like we rarely see them, at least
They
around
got
here.
a lot of rules changes. So they have a lot of really incredible rules changes. So I'm curious if AdMech's going to come out on top.
But Eldar, Asarman and Avatar went down. The Void Weavers went up for 5, down for 10.
Yep.
Dire Avengers got cheaper. Wraithblades got cheaper. So the only thing that really went up was 10-man Swooping Hawks.
10-man Swooping Hawks, yep.
Which I see a lot of people running 5s. I guess maybe somewhere someone's running 10s. Void Reavers, I've seen some people starting to run like 2 units of those as cheap backline units.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a hit, but most of the guys I know around here were starting to check into the Avatar, and most of the Eldari around here that have been doing well, their list actually lost or actually gained points. They went down.
You know what I think this is? I think this is a response to the World Team Championship. And not only this, but also in the Eldar, there was a lot of 10-man Swooping Hawks because when you spam them along with the little fire dragons, along with the warp spiders, it just could be really oppressive and really fast. Also at the World Team Championships, we had so many wolves. And I think GW saw that and they're like, okay, we need to dial wolves down a bit. Even though, if you remember,
that was all pre-Iron Priest nerf.
Pre-Iron Priest nerf.
They had already fixed that problem.
Yeah. Dang, man.
So yeah, I think we just kind of got whacked out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, all of our lists going up like 40 to 60 points. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 60. But the problem is that's like a whole unit you have to cut. You can't just, cut your 60-point unit or, downgrade one thing to another. You have to cut a whole like intercessor squad or scout squad, or infiltrator squad, or, you just got to completely cut it.
Yep. Guard lost some points on the or went up in the Rogaldorn.
Kind of did pretty neutral,
Yeah, that one's Templars untouched, but they're brand new.
They're still really scary.
Sangard went up, but they also gained an attack on their one weapon and hit on 2s now. So
yes, they got better. Blood Angel's still a very strong spot.
Yep. Demons
got a little changes, but nothing really.
Yeah, nothing Demons crazy. Aren't. Chaos Knights are new.
I think same with CSM. Yeah.
Yeah, CSM. The same Land Raider, Venom Crawler, Abaddon.
Little changes, but nothing crazy.
Dark Commune up. Yep, nothing. Dark Angels, nothing important. Death Guard untouched.
Well, it already got nerfed in the.
Yep. Death Watch went down. Mark's happy about that.
Our friend Mark has been crushing people with Death Watch, and his list went down like 60 or 80 points.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, and he's already winning lots of stuff with that, so that's good.
He is.
Drakari, Kronos went down. Emperor's Children got some points dropped, and then one, just the Cacophonous went up.
It didn't really seem like significant changes, though.
No, the Land Raider.
Seeker, Land Raider, Fulgrim.
Fulgrim getting cheaper, but...
Yeah, maybe.
Gene Stealer Cult.
They got a lot of nerfs.
So they got some points here up and down, but yeah, their rules nerf, I think, really hit them hard.
Yeah.
Grey Knight's just the Land Raider thing that everybody was getting. Agents, just, I guess, Death Watch stuff to match the other Death Watch. Knights. This is all, I believe, in line for their book coming out.
Codex. Yep.
Yeah, this is changes from what was in the Codex.
Totally.
So until the book hits, which isn't. Well, it's funny. These points are legal, but the book isn't legal for the GT this weekend because the GT starts Friday and the book starts Saturday.
Interesting.
But they're using the point update, so I'm assuming they're using the night update because they don't have old night points in here, which would be a weird thing. Necrons, Orcs. They got a lot of points drops. They got a few rule changes.
They're looking very.
Yes,
spicy.
we're going to be seeing a lot of Orcs. We did Space Marines. We did Wolves. Tau, bunch of drops.
Yeah, they said they got like some people got like 80 points on a tile list, which
Yes.
is another real unit.
Thousand Suns, other than the Land Raider, which everybody got, they got hit really hard here and in points. Thousand Suns got the worst of this by far.
Yeah, they got really hard.
Gene Stealers, Moloch, nothing super.
Some very small changes, but nothing's happening.
World Eaters, Spawn went up, Forge Fiend went up, Karn went up. 8-bound went down and gained +1 damage, I believe, on the Exalted.
Exalted 8-bound gain +1 damage against vehicles and monsters. So that's really powerful.
Yeah, so I think we'll start seeing more 8-bound lists again.
Yeah, Terminators went down, which is interesting, but I don't know if that's enough. But we might see some shift around. Angron, 25 points.
Yep. So, so the worst of this was Thousand Suns got the worst of it.
Yep.
Necron's losing. So they don't know the Silent King. Now his one ability gives +2 move to everybody near him. But that replaces the old ignore modifier.
Oh, they don't ignore modifiers anymore.
So that's.
Are you kidding me?
Yep. I mean, I could double check, but that's what I heard everybody saying was the rule that changed was the ignore modifier turned into +2.
Man, let me tell you how big that ignore modifier is in the Space Wolf matchup because they have 4 damage shooting. And if you're in Stormlands with a -1 to hidden wound, if you're a Terminator with AOC and you're -1 to wound, they ignore all of that. So that changes.
Just like in Champion Defenders, I have stealth, I have -1 to wound, I have AOC. They ignored all that. No, they don't. Bold, you can do the -1 damage. Now the 4 damage doesn't kill a Terminator or a Thunder. Like, it's huge them losing that. Now when their vehicles go below whatever their threshold is, they're -1 to hit. If they're in combat, it's -1 to shoot out. They used to get to ignore all that stuff if the Silent King was near them.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big buff for us secretly behind. The Thousand Suns is big for us because anything that could spam mortal wound type stuff was bad for us. The Sister, Custodes, and Eldari, that's a little bad for us. Drops there. So I think overall some of the meta came better for us, some of it got worse. But with the points loss, I think overall we're slightly worse off than we were before.
We are, unfortunately. I mean, it's like the reality of it is it's instead of 3x3 Thunderwolves, it's now 2x3 and like a scout squad or something else.
Yeah. The only good thing now is the 3-man is exactly half the points of a 6-man, so it's not like way more efficient per model than it was before. But
yeah, I think before we talked about Thunderwolf Cavalry being the best skirmishers point per point in the entire game.
Yep.
I think they're still amazing skirmishers, but they're pointed appropriately.
I like them being cheap.
Well, the problem is, I think GW also, this nerf came on the back. They were looking at win rates. So our win rate was consistently 53, 54, which is under the 55% win rate they said is like what they want to keep in people. So I think they saw that consistently high win rate and they're like, okay, let's tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think some of that was off the back of we had a lot of European events, WTC and stuff, that had really good win rates that were still old Iron Priest rules.
Yep.
That were keeping that win rate up when it really was probably a little lower than that.
Yeah. What also they don't realize is that we've had now 8 or 9 weeks of the book, maybe even 10 weeks of the book being out. One single event win. One single event win.
With a weird skew list, not even like your standard.
Right.
And the Land Raiders, like the core of that list, actually went down for regular rank. So it's
quite odd. I think they just, I don't know what it is.
We did get one actual buff. Logan ability, where is it? Now affects all reserves, not just strategic reserves. So that's really, really nice.
Yes, which is amazing. You don't have to play the whole how many points am I going to put in a strategic reserve? Only 500. You can deep strike Logan, deep strike Arjack and his squad and not worry about it.
Yeah, because it used to be if I wanted to put Arjack in the 10-man or Logan in the 10-man and bring them in turn 1, they took up all my strategic. So now I couldn't put Blood Claws. I couldn't put Thunderwolves. I couldn't
You
put
can't put a
anything
tank in reserve. Yep.
and anything that had its own that didn't have its own natural ability in reserve. So now you can just put Logan and Arjack units in regular reserve and bring them in turn 1 and still have space to throw another unit back there.
Yeah, I think it did make some scenarios better, but overall, this is just a quality of life change. Now you don't have to do like super crazy mental math on who's going to be where, and you know.
Well, before, if I'm putting 500, like 400 some points of Terminators in strategic, and I have to tell my opponent, hey, Logan brings in strategic reserve. This is the only unit in strategic reserve. You know, this is the unit that's coming in turn 1.
Right.
Now it's just like, hey, this stuff is in reserve. Logan can choose one of these units to come in turn 1.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know which one.
Now, if you have 2 threats, say you've got a Bloodclaw squad and Ragnar, and you also have Arjack squad, you can choose which squad to bring in turn 1 versus before you had to telegraph to your opponent, Arjack's in strategic reserve, or sorry, the Ragnar squad's in strategic reserve, Arjack's in deep strike. So they knew it had to be Ragnar squad.
It has to be Ragnar. It can't be. Yeah. Or even now, like I'm running a little Reaver squad to throw back there with the Terminators. And like, oh, you left a hole? Well, I'm going to deep strike Reavers and put neg 1 OC on your home objective turn 1 if you don't bubble this out.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, I can't fit Arjack or Logan and 10 Terminators here, but I could fit 5 Reavers that could come in turn 1, so you better plan for this in deployment in case I win first turn.
Yeah. Well, actually, sorry. Matt, want to correct you there. Only Space Wolf keyworded units. So Reavers.
Oh, right. Reavers can't. All right.
Yeah. But you could deep strike Arjack turn 1 or 5 Terminators turn 1.
Good thing no one ever gave me that hole. I was thinking about cheating and never got to do it.
Well, there you go.
Games, but all right.
Yeah. What else?
What if I bring my Hounds of Mordecai?
Hounds of Mordecai could do it if they still existed.
Well, they were just Reaver bodies, right? So they're just Reavers now, right? So if I use the Hounds of Mordecai bodies, no? All right.
There are a couple key units that we lost that I'm still mourning. Reavers, Hounds of Mordecai were one of them.
But the nice thing now is like, say you put Ragnar's unit back there, Blood Claws, Thunderwolves or something, deep strike the Terminators turn 1, turn 2, they treat strategic like turn 3, they can come in your opponent's deployment zone.
Absolutely.
So there is some play we have there that your opponent has to worry about now.
Exactly. We have a lot more flexibility. It does change some situations, but this is quality of life.
Yeah. So slight little thing there. Some of the things that I thought were real bad matchups got worse. Custodes got a little better. Sisters got a little better. But I don't see a lot of Sisters around here. You see like one Sisters player here or there. And if they're not Kolodner, I think I can have a better game into them. That's just...
That man has the Space Wolf number. I don't think I've ever heard of a Wolf beating him. In fact, I am calling him out right now, in this very moment. I want to play Kolodner on TTS until I beat him. Calling him right now. Calling my shot.
All right, so I'll see you in a few months.
Yeah, a couple hundred games. We'll see. One day or another, he's just going to forget to bring in like 500 points of his army, and then I might win.
Yeah, it's like a Little Giants. 99 out of 100 times.
Exactly.
One time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's Eldar little point change. I don't think that was enough to really skew that matchup.
No, I think we're still pretty good into Eldar. I'm not going to lie. They really hate Thunderwolves. They really hate Terminators. Yep, they really do.
Yep. Yeah. I love when Fire Dragons start trying to shoot at Terminators and they don't get in melt range.
Yeah, and
that happened the other day. When I popped Stealth on, I was like, all right, you're hitting on 4s with no... Well, there are aspects they get to reroll 1s. So you're hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. Wounding on 4s. I get a 4-up invul, and now there's a 50% chance you don't kill a guy for 1 melt to save. Like, they'll pick up a knight. They might kill 2 Terminators with a 10-man and Fugan.
You know, I've been thinking about it, and I'm really interested in Champions of Rust now.
Fenris?
because
I'm interested in
Champions of
Champions of
Fenris,
Russ.
yes. I
I'm
wish
still
we had
interested in Champions of Russ.
Yeah, but I'm really interested in Champions of Fenris now because I'm thinking about how Terminators have been such all-stars when I've been playing them.
Mhm.
They didn't get touched at all. Ardrac had 10 points, but that's like nothing.
Yep. You stay off my detachment. I claimed this. All right. You guys
I
said it was
know,
trash.
you really did. It is your detachment.
I'm taking it to the GT this weekend, so we'll see how I feel after 7 real competitive games. But
Wow. I'm curious. I know you've got a video out if anyone's curious, but what is your current Champions of Fenris list?
all right, so there's no Terminator. Just kidding. So it's 3 30-man Wolfguard Terminator squads, or 3 10-man Wolfguard Terminator squads. So 30
Wow.
Terminators. Running the big axe, and I actually have switched. I know originally when you and I talked Terminators, we were like, no assault cannons, all shields for the extra wounds. I've started running the 2 assault cannon, 2 power fists in the 10-mans because you still got 7 4-wound bodies.
Yes.
And just
And
those
the power fists
12
really help with damage.
and those 12 6, with the power fists, and just those 12 shots at strength 6 with possible dev wounds help with the Eldar stuff. I'll pick 2 or 3 wounds off a tank or an avatar or something before I go in, which helps with, because we do have a struggle punching up into those a little bit. So I run 1 with Logan, 1 with Arjack, 1 by itself.
Ooh.
Yep. I got a 5-man assault Terminator squad, all hammer shield. So another 4-wound Terminator squad.
Wow.
Running with a librarian right now. I've gone back and forth between the captain and librarian. But
Go ahead.
But he's got Wolf's Wisdom, which gives them the 6-inch charge with the end of their opponent's charge phase, instead of the 3-inch like the whole detachment gets.
That's scary.
Yep. And then he gives them sustained hits and a 4 up against psychic attacks.
Which is kind of nice. You ever consider a chaplain for +1 wound and protection
He gets a 4 up
mortals?
against all mortals. I have considered a chaplain, and then I realized I don't own a Terminator chaplain right now.
That's right. Well, you know what I was thinking for Champions of Fenris was you can really put the pressure on early with a big Terminator squads.
Oh yeah.
Like you can redeploy Terminator squad turn 1, bring another Terminator in turn 1 with Logan, go for a couple 9-inch charges.
Let's say if my opponent goes first, that's what I do. I put Logan and Arjack's squad in reserve with the Reavers. My opponent goes first. I pick up either the Librarian squad or the other 10-man, and then whatever one I pick up and one of the ones from reserve can both deep strike on my first turn.
Wow.
And another thing I found that's great, if I go first, which has happened in most of my games, the scouts, I infiltrate them near my expansion. Scout move them onto it with the scout move if I'm going first. Spend 1 CP on my first turn, sticky it, and then run the scouts away.
Oh, that's amazing. That's incredible.
So now you can't shoot me off at. You actually have to come all the way over here and touch this objective, while I position other stuff behind that terrain to counterattack on it, but I don't actually have to be touching it.
Wow. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm really seriously considering trying out Champions of Fenris because we got some serious nerfs.
And it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't worked yet, but on anything super important. But the strat to make your opponent take battle shocks within 6 inches of a Terminator squad on their command phase. And I believe the way it's worded, I have to double confirm this, that it's their command phase, not in the battle shock step. So it's kind of like Shadows of the Warp. They have to take that before the battle shock step, so they can't auto pass it. And then anybody that needed to take a regular battle shock will still have to take it.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Just put it up there and like, all right, pop. You can't, if we're engaged, well, now you're desperate escaping. You're not doing actions. You definitely don't control the objective, although OC2 Terminators normally don't have a problem with that. But
yeah,
even if you try to run to a different objective, you're not going to hold it because you're OC0.
OC2 Terminators with a 3-inch heroic with battle shock stepping, sticky objectives, and they're like so durable. That honestly sounds pretty incredible.
And last edition heroic, like they don't even have to charge; they just have to be there
within 3 inches. So you can't contest. It's like you stick your Terminators on the puck. Now, if you're going to contest with like 10 OC3 guardsmen, they're going to get heroic.
Yeah, Ruin Eyes. All infantry and walker can, in the command phase for 1 CP, sticky an objective in Champions of Fenris.
Wow.
Yep, and then you can give the Terminator stealth on top of that, which -1 to wound, -1 to hit, armor contempt, in cup. Like those Terminators can just be like, no.
That sounds like a really fun list.
It has been. I've been enjoyed it. It does have the problem where, like, say you're fighting at something big, you can't get stuck there for a round or two just grinding through it because you don't have fallback and char or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's plays more of the play style just basically swarm the middle objectives, deny your opponent primary beginning of the game, and then now that there's those challenger cards, it's harder for them to catch back up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the big thing is like if you're fighting over the objectives, that OC2 is really going to matter. It doesn't matter if you kill stuff as long as you have Terminators alive,
Yeah.
OC2 on the point.
When you sticky it, you don't have to be on the point. If they
Right.
don't have like a lot of fly or stuff that can walk over you, you just walk to the other side of the objective. So if somehow they even do kill you, the objective's still sticky behind you.
Oh, that's so fun. That is
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah. So on Aldara, you actually have to stay on the objective because they just warp all the frick around. Big knights can walk over you, but like world eaters, orcs, stuff like that, they got to go through you.
They do. They really
Yeah.
do. But you mentioned something small that has a big impact on us. I don't think people are talking about, at least for us. Space Wolves did get one significant buff in this change.
Yep. Challenger cards are gone.
Challenger cards are completely gone.
Yeah, because
So-
most Space Wolf armies either went to real early or right early mid, like turn 2 or turn 3, want to swarm the middle and just force your opponent to play from their deployment, swarm the middle, just tank their primary. Which when they were getting those extra 3, 6, 9 challenger, kind of helped them balance that out. Now, if they can't dig out a turn faster than they were before, they're not going to be able to swing that game back.
That's exactly right. The pressure builds, the melee pressure builds, which we really do well. Stormlance, Gladius Beastlayer, I mean, even Champions of Fenris, all of them got so many buffs. I mean, remember when Challenger cards, you'd be like, oh, I can score 7 secondaries this turn, but I don't want to because I'll give my opponent a Challenger card, you know?
Yeah,
Like
or even, if you went first, like, all right, you were scared to score too many. If you went second, you'd be like, oh, he scored 8 or whatever. I'm just going to score this 2 for establish. And like I could secure 1 and establish locus to get 4 points. So I'm just going to do one of the 2, get 2 points. I'll lose 2, but then possibly gain 3 or a strat that does something I can't normally do that my opponent can't plan for.
Yeah, exactly. Moving through walls, falling back and shooting or advancing and shooting, charging with the unit. Yeah. So I really do think that we got buffed in the fact that we do play melee pressure really well, primary denial really well, and our opponents can't really deal with that.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I find we want to start the game earlier than some other armies.
We really do, you know.
Like I think that helps with that Necron like Wraith build, where they'd like let you kind of get up on primaries. They tried to whittle you down with the Doomsday Arcs and stuff, and then they'd late game press with Challenger card and stuff and try to swarm objectives turns 4 and 5.
Yeah, I even think about like the Death Watch build Mark has been running. He doesn't really sit on primary a lot. He just goes to try to kill you. He gets down on primary really early, hoping to get back up, maybe with Challenger cards, but also some late primary. Like that's also harder now because your opponent's trading pieces for points in primary, but you don't have that catch-up mechanic in the Challenger cards.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that's really big for us.
It's super big.
Yeah. And it's just another thing you don't have to worry about. Space Wolves don't like to have to do all that thinking.
No, us Space Wolf players aren't known for thinking.
That's when I come at you and roll dice at you.
Yeah, run at you and roll dice. Exactly.
Hopefully rolling dice for attacks, not saves, but
hopefully. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we got some good saves, so.
Yeah, we do. But all right, what about you? You got any events or anything coming up? I got a big 7-round GT coming up this weekend.
7-round GT, that is amazing. Let's talk about that. But I have an event late October, and I also just snuck into an event. That's a golden ticket event down in Williamsburg at the last minute, mid-October. So I'm prepping for that. It's about in 3 weeks. So I'm really racking my brain because I got to start right now to make sure I've got everything built and painted.
Yeah.
What do I want to run?
Yep. Yeah. This event, it's 7 rounds over 3 days, so it's 2-3-2. Which after Nova, I'm so thankful for that. The 3-3-3 was brutal.
2-3-2 sounds really ideal.
Yep, and there are going to be some heavy hitters there.
What is it?
Well, it's in Orlando, which is where Art of War is located. So Lennon's coming, Nanavati's coming, Mike Musini's going to be there. Michael Mann, their new the guy that does their space duels now. He was also a Thousand Suns guy before, but they got nerfed. But he also used to be a big orc guy, so I'm thinking he might just pop out with orcs.
Orcs got a lot of buffs, yeah.
Yeah, and he's, from what I hear, he was been an orc player for a long time, so he might pop out with orcs. But I'm hoping he pops out with wolves, so we'll see what he does there. But I'm interested to see that, and then I'm really excited. I'm excited to see John, because him and I were supposed to hang out at Nova, and then his flight got canceled, like pushed back like 4 times and canceled, so he didn't come.
Yeah,
so this is like 10 minutes from their house, so he doesn't have to fly. So he'll be there.
It's gonna be some heaters. Have you taken Champions of Fenris to a GT before?
I haven't taken it to. I don't know. Maybe I took it to an RTT back in the day, but I haven't taken it to any big events. I can't remember if I took it to any events at all. Maybe I did an RTT. I don't remember for sure.
So this is the first real test of that list.
Yep, and that was a different list. That was only 15 Terminators. Like, this is like real tech.
35, right?
Well, yeah, because before the other one, it's like when we were first testing the book, I was testing Champion Fenris and all our new data sheets. So now that we've kind of gone through a lot of the data sheets, this is just like, all right, how do I fully try to optimize just Champions of Fenris?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to hear how it goes. We'll get a breakdown next week for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep, I'll do some, and then we'll talk about it next Tuesday, because I'll be getting back Monday afternoon.
So, Matt, I'm curious, what do you think changes for Wolves right now? The meta switched around. We got some moderate nerfs and a couple minor buffs.
Well, there's 2 ways to go about it. One, you just like drop a scout through an intercessor, one of your mission play, and kind of try to keep your list the same. But now the challengers are gone. Maybe getting up on primary with those lists, and your opponent not getting the challenger will maybe balance out the few secondary points you lose for losing another mission play unit. So that could hopefully be all right. The other is to, like you were saying, start teching back more into head takers, take more blood claws, like find something maybe to try to replace the Thunderwolves, or not drop them all together, but not as many Thunderwolves, and try to fill some of the role they were doing with other stuff that's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. I'm based on what I'm thinking, the different detachments play so differently. It's not like we had one build and that one build's gone.
Yep.
There's still the Beast Slayer build with a lot of head takers. There's still the Stormlance build with a lot of wolves. There's now the Champions of Fenris build with a lot of stuff. There's still the Ironstorm build with a lot of tanks.
Yep.
There's still a lot to choose from.
Yeah, and now that Land Raiders are cheaper, you can take a Redeemer or a regular Land Raider, put some Terminators in it. Maybe put some Redemptors in, because they went down. But so now there's some other stuff that got cheaper that we can actually possibly start trying around some different builds that aren't as centered around Thunderwolves.
Right, exactly.
So I think it'll shake itself out. I still think we're fine. I still think we can win. I just a little harder, a little more.
It is.
For but not like Thousand Suns, so.
Yes. Screw Thousand Suns, by the way.
Yep. Whatever Magnus did, they deserved this.
For me personally, I am leaning more towards melee pressure and primary denial. And to me, I have like 300 reps of Stormlance in 10th with Wolfjail. Well, Wolfjail-esque. So I'm actually leaning back into that, because if you think about it, the smaller 3-mans got nerfed pretty hard. They got like a 15% increase. The big 6-mans only got a 10-point increase. Yep. So if you run in the big 6-mans, it really didn't change all that much.
Yeah, you lost like 30 points.
Yeah, 20 or 30 points. Yep. And now with challenger cards going away, I do feel more comfortable, even though the Thunderwolves do moderate damage. They don't do a lot of damage. I do feel more comfortable with that build, because I can trade Thunderwolves into big stuff to just deny primary. And then even though I'm not chewing through T10, I'm not chewing through 2-up with Armor of Contempt, I'm still playing the mission better, because I have really fast OC that hits pretty hard.
Yeah, and you could always do something like turn a scout or an intercessor or something like that into a Fenrisian Wolf Squad. Yeah.
And actually, I have to say, our interview with Powell Kruk, he got me thinking about 6-mans with a Wolf Priest.
No head takers yet.
do a paired weapon head takers with a Wolf Priest because they can punch up really hard, especially if they get their devs.
Yeah.
So I'm even considering them in Stormlands.
Yeah, I got to build my other 6 as paired. I got 6 built with shield. I got 2 boxes. I got to build of. I'll build as paired because I got a Wolf Priest that I really like. That I got his headband. He reminds me of Tormund from Game of Thrones. I got him with red hair, orange hair, and everything. So it's like
that's super fun.
Yeah, so I want to get him on the table. I just like putting that guy out because he looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say I was also considering Beastslayer with the 20-man blob and Ragnar.
Yep.
But that's a lot of points to eat. Ragnar went up and the 20-man went up. So that unit is still amazing if you play it well. Yep. But getting hit twice on that one single unit is definitely dissuading me.
Well, and that could be another thing like I thought about, like Redeemer or Land Raider with Ragnar and the Blood Claws in it. So you don't have the 20-man, but they're getting a position more unfazed. Because I always had good luck with that back in the day, Ragnar and head takers coming out like Impulsor or Land or whatever, because they get out, advance, charge. Like, and if you're in a Land Raider, you can move 12 inches, deploy 3, and still charge.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They get up the board fast.
Yes. So we'll see. There could be some play with that there because our Terminator and stuff are so hard to kill. We put something like a Land Raider or something out. Either it doesn't die because they're trying to kill Terminators, or it sucks fire and they leave the Terminators alone, which I think would be the mistake.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing about our units is we have such durability. We can almost build into archetypes where you stress your opponent's anti-tank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm thinking about that Champions of Fenris build with 30 Wolfguard Terminators, all OC2, all -1 to wound, all 4 up, a lot of 4 wounds. Yeah, it's just like we can really stress that style of build.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at how many Redemptors and Terminators, Wolfguard Terminators, can I fit in the same army and just push to the middle.
Totally. Yeah. You think Redemptors are viable? I mean, they went down 15 points.
I don't know. I've always loved Redemptors. I got 3 painted up. I would love, because like the first time you never played, I was running my Redemptor.
They were hard to kill.
Like my chapter is called the Dread Wolves, and that came from me running Dreadnought heavy wolves. So
that makes sense.
I would love for them to be good, or at least good enough to like, yeah, they're not better than everything else, but they're not worse. So we're gonna give them a try just because I love those models, and mine are all wolfed out. But I don't know that it's good, but I'm gonna find out.
You're gonna find out? Yeah. I'm very curious to see. It's got me thinking, you know, what type of builds we have. And again, I am thankful we got nerfed, but I am thankful that I have like 3 or 4 different archetypes to choose from, you know.
Well, after I win Crucible Champion of Fenris, be ready for the emergency Terminator fix.
The emergency Terminator FAQ. They're like, actually, they're now 400 points, you know, and their -1 to wound is only in once per game, and you're like, oh. Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine plays Dark Angels. What's the Deathwing Knights? Like 250 for 5.
That is
500
crazy.
for them to run a Tan Man. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous.
Well, you actually think about that compared to Champions of Fenris, Wolfguard Terminators. They're slightly less durable. I would say the -1 damage does matter a lot.
In that new detachment, they're -1 to wound as well.
-1 to wound and -1 damage. But they're really expensive and they're only OC1. So, you know, you're actually trading off quite a bit.
Well, Champions of Fenris, we get OC2, but normally we're not. But yeah.
The Deathwing Knights are only OC1.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're a little harder to kill in that one detachment. But yeah, they're way more expensive.
Way more expensive, and they do more damage. But
they hit way harder than we do. Absolutely.
Yeah. Dang, I want to go build a Champions of Fenris list now that I'm talking about it. I'm like, actually, you know, the OC2 Terminators with sticky and -1 to wound, and you know,
and the option to charge on your opponent's turn. Like, it's against shooting armies, it doesn't come up that much because they just don't come to try to touch the objective because they know you can do it.
That's the whole thing. You're controlling space, like, yeah.
But in a melee matchup, I charged you. All right, cool. I'm heroicing with like 3 units if I position myself right, where you have to come in. Oh, you roll too high. You had to base too many models, and I charged you with 3 other units on your turn.
I mean, that would be so funny. I would love to watch you play like a World Eaters player, and you just have like 30 Wolfguard Terminators just like interlocked, and you're just like, good luck, like.
Well, I have the bases color coded, so I can do that, like stagger them between.
That is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. It's probably not better than having the fight on death. I have noticed in one of my matchups, man, I wish I had that. RJX got the 4-up, but I wish I had that double fight on death like I could do before. So
there are definitely some really strong advantages to running other detachments, but
yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I do like the 30 Terminators. We'll see whether I need the OC2 if 10 Terminators are on an objective. And then, because you can always go back to Bold, which has an advance and charge strat, which I miss. And then you just spend the 2 CP to do the 6-inch charge on your opponent's turn. Now you have -1 damage on the Terminators. So I think the Terminators are good. So we'll see how Fenris does. I may switch this build into another detachment after with some slight tweaks to what works in that detachment. But
yeah,
I'm liking running lots of Terminators.
Yeah, and I look back at my Ironstorm build. It went up 55 points, which is crazy. I'm running 9 Thunderwolves and Arjack. So I'm gonna have to switch that around a little bit. I'll lose basically 1 full unit.
Yep.
55 points is a lot to cut from a Space Wolf squad, Space Wolf list.
Oh, any Space Marine, yeah. So we don't have it's funny. It's because I kept keeping Fenrisian Wolves in a lot of my lists because of the rumor that we're going to nerf. I was like, all right, as long as it's under 40 points, I can just cut Fenrisian Wolves.
How do you think Gladius fares?
I think it's still fine because it doesn't have to have Thunderwolves. Because my Gladius before was running 2 Thunderwolves and Arjax, so it went up 50 points. 2 3-mans and Arjax, so it went up 40 points. So actually, I could run my old Gladius list and just drop the Fenrisian Wolves.
Yeah, I think Gladius fared okay.
Well, that had Canis in it, so that list has to be redesigned completely.
For me, I think the biggest impact is we're no longer seeing 3x3 Thunderwolves. It's really hard pressed to see 3x3 Thunderwolves. I think 2x3 is still very solid.
Yeah, you lose 30 points. You just gotta figure out something with your other units. Depending on your detachment or stuff over here, I wouldn't necessarily drop Bjorn unless you're in a detachment that really doesn't use CP.
Yeah, Bjorn's still very solid. There aren't a lot of Marines that can get CP automatically. It's basically just Dark Angels, Gilliman, and Bjorn.
And with Orcs, I think you're going to be big again. Eldari are still on the scene. And from everything I've heard a bunch of people talking about, now that the Silent King went to +2 move instead of ignore modifiers, you might start seeing the Warrior spam again with the +2 move on everything. So having that double Flamer Overwatch could be really nice in some of those matchups.
Speaking of the double Flamer Overwatch, I think Redeemers going down 15 points makes them quite viable. They're really deadly, man. They're so.
I love the Redeemer.
They will roast anything that's not T12. I mean, even Overwatching its vehicles, you're going to get 7 or 8, 6 or 8 wounds through. You're like, oh my gosh, am I just going to punk a vehicle on Overwatch?
Yeah. The only downside is if you hit that Eldar matchup, the Fire Dragons just be like, bye. Just look at it, it goes away.
Yeah, that's challenging. That is a big challenge. But
that's the problem I end up having with Canis. Is in some matchups it's great, but then you hit the Eldar. Certain things that can pick up vehicles really well. I'm gotta treat him like he's encased in a little eggshell, super safe. When can I bring him out? When is he safe? Did I deal with that threat yet? Whereas Terminators, I'm unless you get super lucky and I roll like crap, you're not killing this. I don't care if you're 1,000 bolter shots at 1 damage or 1 big melt the unit. I'm gonna tank it.
So, I always think Thunderwolves are durable. They're very durable.
Oh, absolutely.
They're T6, 4 wounds, 3 up, 4 up. Then I look at Wolfguard Terminators, and they're another level above, especially when you can AOC. That 2-up with cover, AOC, -1 to wound. Then
then depending on your attachment, Bold, I guess Bold you lose AOC, but you can -1 damage.
Right.
Champion's Fenris, you can add stealth on top of it. Stormlance doesn't buff them; that's only mounted. But
Yeah,
if you're
but
in an attachment, you can. Yeah.
AOC is still very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced charge, fall back and charge. I have 5 in my with Arjack in my Stormlance. I think you need Arjack in the squad because 5 with Logan, they like run into like a Rhino or a Predator and they do like 3 wounds, and you're like, this feels terrible. You know,
Yeah,
like
Arjack is better for big stuff. Logan, I found, is really nice into like a 20-man squad of something because he's 12 attacks on himself with the guys.
no, he is 16 attacks.
6 and 6, isn't it?
No, he can sweep for 10 and 6.
Oh, into little units. Yeah. So yeah, he can go up to
16.
16.
Yeah, no, but he's got a big. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, if they're 1 damage, yeah. I always forget that when I'm fighting Eldar. I always do the 6 attacks. But yeah, I gotta start doing his 10 attacks into the Eldar units because it's still like strength 6, 1 damage. I think it still wounds them on 2s.
Strength 6, AP 2, 1 damage, and then you got the other 6. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, so he just, you could charge 2 like 10, 20-man squads, and he'll kill most of one by himself while the Terminators pick another. So
Mash has got a question for us. Where are we at with Hammer Wolfen?
I think with the nerf to Thunderwolves, they might start making a little more of a comeback. There's certain attachments I really like them in. There's certain attachments I don't. If you can get them sustained, like in Beast Slayer with a character, or Champion Defenders, I like them because there's a strat for sustained lethal. I have too many Terminators in this list to afford a big 10-man. But I liked the big 10-man of Wolfen when I could give them sustained into the Oath target because it just really upped their efficiency. Running the 10-man or 5-man without sustained and only 2 attacks, and it could just be my dice, I found just sometimes they just completely whiffed into stuff.
5 is way too swingy, even into a preferred target, which is vehicles.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do 15 wounds to a vehicle. Sometimes they do 3, and you're like, you can't really predict it.
Yeah, especially with something with an invol. Like I just find you need the full 10-man with the sustain to really kill anything good.
Yeah, they're solid. They still remain solid. They didn't get touched.
Oh yeah. Now it's like a trading piece. 100 points. If you start taking instead of the Thunderwolves to run out and fight in the middle and kind of be hard to kill. You got to like string them to a character to be able to hold an objective, or so there's a little more babysitting on them to make them be able to do an action or hold an objective.
I feel. Yeah, go ahead.
But it's still for 100 points. If you want to save the 115, they can still out kill some middle stuff and be T6 Forps involved. Decently hard to kill, but they are only 2 wounds.
Yeah, they're good at like mischief as a 5-man. They're not good. I feel like they're not very good at trading because they're OC0, and because they're strength 5. So you go into like 5 sisters and you'll kill like 2 sisters and you'll get out OC, or 3 sisters. You know, you'll go into like 5 rangers and you only kill 4, and then that 1 ranger gets the objective. Whereas I think you probably still want to pay the 15 points to get 3 Thunderwolves because they have so many more attacks, because they have 6 OC. I think that they're better at trading. But the 10-man Wolfen, 200 points, is still a bargain for a lot of damage.
Yeah, especially Beast Slayer, where you can give them a character, so they have OC going with them.
And sustained, and +1 wound into non-vehicles and monsters.
Yeah, and I guess you could try that in Beast Slayer, taking them with like a battle leader, so it's 165 points, but they have OC, they have the sustained, they have the character who fights on death, like, so maybe there's some play there.
Totally. Hammer Wolfen is still very strong.
Yes, we just had so much better stuff that now some of that's starting to get hit. They probably work their way back in.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think Thunderwolves are still up there with some of the best of our units, but they're coming down a little bit towards Wolfen with hammers.
Yes. Yeah, if Wolfen were a little cheaper, say like the non-hammer Wolfen were like 80 to 75, and they were like 90-ish, I think that would be a little better spot for them with the lack of OC.
Yeah, man, I think if non-hammer Wolfen, non-shield Wolfen go down to 75, I think you could see 20 or 30 of them like instantly, because they are just on the cusp of being so amazing. They're so they do so much damage with +1 to wound in Beast Slayer with lethals, and Gladius with lance and AP, and other things. You know, the second they get any cheaper, I think you can see a lot of like real case for taking 20 or 30 of them.
Yeah, they don't seem interested in making any of our stuff cheaper. Just like if they made Greyhunters a little cheaper, people might start taking them more.
Greyhunters, man, yeah, totally. Grey Hunter's cheaper, Ulrich cheaper, or Dreadnought sometimes cheaper.
Yeah, but in my experience with wolves, if we're too good, they're gonna bring us down. But if we're bad, they really don't care.
Yeah. Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah, but yeah, we rarely ever get the buff. Like, oh look, your stuff got super cheap, or your stuff went down, or like here's a rules thing. Normally it's like, oh, why are you doing good? You're space wolves. Here, take this hit.
Bonk.
Yep.
Yeah. It is. It is. I do feel a little sad this week.
Yep. I'm not as sad because I only lost 10 points out of this list, but when I start trying to build after this GT, if I start trying to do other lists with like Thunderwolves and stuff again, then I'll start feeling the sad.
Yeah. Still paying for the sins of 5th and 6th edition, says Bird Boy.
Wolfen sure are.
Yeah, Wolf and R.
Although, beginning of 8th edition, I think it was, Wolfen were amazing.
I think I played in 8th edition.
Index Wolfen, 8th edition Index Wolfen were... That was the most fun I've ever had with wolves.
Because weren't they like crazy high strength, 3 damage? They fought on death even if they've already fought.
Yep, they had 3-up invul. They had like a 5-up feel no pain. They could advance and charge. Yeah, they were like strength 10 with their hammers. And then Ragnar could get like 12 attacks or something with like Call of the Wild or something of the Wild or something like.
That unit hurt, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I love fun. That was during the COVID time, so I had to play at one event with it. Played a couple little like local GTs where they like spaced it out over like 3 weeks. Where like you'd play this night and like just so they didn't have a big crowd and stuff. And like I never lost a game with that. And then the book came out and they took all that away.
Done.
Yeah.
Dang. By the way, what's the Assault Terminator rule? I'm thinking back to it now.
When they complete a charge, you have to take a battle shock test.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Situationally useful. Stop AOC.
I took all the Wolfguard I could, so it's the only other 4-wing Terminators I could take.
How do you like the 10-man Terminator squad by itself?
I like it. It's pretty solid because I don't care as much as if it dies because it doesn't have Logan or Arjack. So I kind of push it out, and then sometimes it'll eat up a little more shooting than the other guys.
Yeah. Rude Eyes is saying Grey Hunters are so good I just need to add a librarian for the 4-up. If they were durable, OC3, real wounds, a lot of attacks.
Oh yeah, lots of stuff. If we could this like Jarl would be great if I could put them in Stern Guard. Yeah, if we didn't have all these keyword restrictions, we'd be great.
Yeah, so close, so close. I mean, even if Grey Hunters came down, like Grey Hunters with a Wolfguard Battle Leader, sustained real wounds, real hits of 1, lots of OC, lots of attacks.
Yeah,
like it's so close.
Yeah, because there's a couple of good enhancements in Champions of Fenris and in First Company, First Task Force, whatever it is, that are the 2 Terminator attachments. But we can't give any of them to the Wolfguard because only Arjack and Logan can lead them, and they can't take enhancements. So if I could add a captain or chaplain or something to Wolfguard Terminators, I wouldn't even take that 5-man. I just want to have that 6-inch charge option in my tool bag, so I tried it before with Judicar and Head Takers. We got to put them in pulse and stuff to get there, so like the uppy, downy, deep striking librarian Terminators, I can get them to the places I want them to be to try to use it better.
Yeah, well, I've even thought about a captain for the free strat to go uppy downy with the squad, and a captain lets them reroll charges. So they uppy downy reroll charges for free, and then you can use the other CP to reroll charges on your squad to bring it in. So you can have 2 rerollable 9-inch charges turn 1, which I thought was really cool.
That's my first version of the list had that, and then when the Arjack change came, that's where I found points. I went down to the librarian.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you're not running any shooting.
I have the assault cannons, and I have Bjorn, and then I have bolters on the intercessors. The scouts have a missile launcher.
Yeah.
Bolters. Oh, I have an outrider squad.
But I guess your whole thing is you want to get stuck in, so you want to charge stuff. Like
so I have 36 assault cannon shots, which can help clear screens.
That's really solid.
Yeah, and if I should, because that's why I have my last game I played against the Avatar. I just shot all the assault cannons to him, and I did like 5 or 6 wounds before we even got into combat with like devs and stuff. And then I picked him up 1 round, which shocked both me and my opponent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
that -1, that half damage with our 2-1 guys is a bit of a pain.
half damage is really tough against melee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm curious about it. Lightning Claws, Term Librarian. Yeah, that's interesting.
Ooh,
Lightning Claws for
Phosphate.
sustain.
Which
Yeah.
one is that? Yeah, let me look at Phosphate again.
Well, the interesting thing about you could do Lightning Claws and a Chaplain, so you could reroll real wounds, and then you can give them sustained for a CP.
Yep.
That's kind of solid too.
Phosphate. Each time enemy unit excluding monster and vehicle with engagement range falls back, all must take a desperate escape check. When doing so, if it's battle shock, subtract 1. All right, so auto make them take a desperate escape.
Well, you can combo that because you can make them take a battle shock.
Yep.
And then if they're battle shocked, that's a third of the unit is going to be gone if they fall back.
Yep. Yeah, because there's some good enhancements here, like the Fang pendant. The unit can fall back, shoot, and charge. If I could give that to the Wolfguard Terminator units, like that'd be so great. But like we
So
can't give them
amazing, man.
enhancements. Yeah, so I don't hate Foe's Fate. I like the Wolf's Wisdom better, but it's 30 points as opposed to 15. I just like to have the option of being able to do that charge. Just the threat of it, actually, more than the doing it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because if you can get them up in that, like, especially like layout 1, that little V building, 6-inch, now if they touch that objective, you can charge them out of the building. So you can sit there and not even be targeted with the little 5-mana librarian and charge out of the building.
Oh man, but you think about it, you could sticky that. You could sticky that objective, turn 1 with scouts, run them away, and then deep strike Arjack and Co. Or
even
the Terminator squad 6 inches from that objective.
Yeah, or even on other ones, do it on your expansion, stick it with the scouts, depending on the game, and then just deep strike that squad over there to guard that objective.
And say good luck, like you're gonna like want to touch this objective. If you don't, it's mine. If you do, I'm gonna.
Yeah, because even if I can't kill you, I'm charging you with the librarian 12 OC of Terminators. So the odds you're probably not going to kill them. So even if for some reason I don't kill you, I'm going to hold the objective still.
This is crazy, man. I need to build a Champions of Fenris list. Like I'm just like actually going crazy now because it sounds actually really good.
When I come back 0-7 after this weekend, we'll see if we change our minds on that. But we'll see how it, because there is some mobility issues of like it getting stuck in or getting them blocking out your deep strikes because the units are so big. So there are some flaws in it. We'll see.
That's the biggest thing.
How well
I think
people can expose it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think is like if you play a really fast screening army like Guard, like Dark Eldar, like Admech, and you start them off the board, then you get pushed back in your DZ turn 1, and that's game over. You know, you're never getting out of your DZ.
Yeah, because I find most people are so worried about me dropping behind them, but that's rarely ever my plan. My plan is really to drop near the objectives, even if it's on my side of the board, just after I know where you've positioned stuff, just you don't know where I'm going, so you can't plan for it. So people try to stop me from coming to the left side of the board, and I'm like, I really wasn't trying to come there anyway. So they normally don't push so hard that they push me all the way back in my deployment zone.
Yeah.
I still got the other Terminators, 2 Terminator squads on the table, and Bjorn, and so like they really don't come that hard to push me to the back of my deployment zone. They try and keep me out of their side, and I'm like, that's not where I'm trying to come.
Yeah, you don't even need. Here's the thing: you don't even need intercessors for the home because you can sticky the home. And you know what's interesting? You could have a Terminator captain if you don't have a captain on your list. You can have a Terminator captain just uppy downy every turn doing actions every turn.
Yep.
Like that's so cool.
Yep. And the only reason I like the intercessors is turn 1, I can sticky my expansion for 1 CP and my home and just be done with it.
Totally.
And I found then they can start pushing out if they don't have stuff to come behind me. And those 4 shots per guys at AP1, they're not bad.
Does matter.
You can throw a grenade. Like I find with some like the Eldar matchups and stuff, like they'll kill a little unit by themselves.
Intercessors are just very solid all around.
Yep. But yeah, true. You wouldn't necessarily have to have them the sticky, but I like doing that double sticky turn 1 and be like,
double sticky is great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, fun, man. I'm a little down on some of the wolf builds.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
But we'll see, because just like when the Iron Priest got nerfed, we were like, oh man, this sucks. But then once we're like, all right, get that out of our mind, just look at it what it is now. And it's like
How do we
once we can
adapt?
stop comparing it to what it was and like, all right, let's see what we have now and just focus on that, leave the past behind us, and we'll find good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Burboy is saying it still feels weird that wolves are pushed towards Terminators. It does. I think we still have the Blood Claws and Ragnar. We still have the Thunderwolves.
Yeah.
They're still really good.
Yeah. Well, in earlier editions, Wolves always had the best Terminators in the game, even better than back in Dark Games. So we used to be able to take options of war gear that no one else could take. So they kind of Thunderwolves came out, like so they kind of went by the wolf fin, so they went by the wayside for a little bit. But I've been playing since second edition, so I'm actually kind of happy that the Wolf Terminators are good again.
Totally.
And the best thing is, like that 5-man assault Terminator squad I'm running, it's my old Wolfguard Terminators. So they still got the cloak and all the stuff on them because the old models used to be hammer shields. So I got wolf shield, so they actually look wolfy because it's the old Wolfguard Terminator.
That is so fun, man. I'm happy for you.
Yep. We'll see how happy we are for me after this weekend, but I think it should be fun.
I'm really curious, man. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated, and obviously I'll let everyone. I'll be doing updates through the weekend, and all right. Well, we're at our hour mark. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on? Any last questions from chat?
Nothing for me. I think in the next probably week, I've got to decide what attachment I'm going for because I've got to start building painting. So we'll talk about it on the Council of the Fang next week. I might post a list video once I get it finalized.
Yeah, see if I can swing you to champion to Fenris.
Dude, you are. The more you're talking, the more I'm like, wait a second, hang on a second.
Yeah, we'll see. It's one of those things where, in theory, it sounds good. We'll see if it actually, because you talk about all the good stuff and like, all right, now what are the flaws, and do these good things overcome the flaws that I'll find?
No advance in charge, no fall back in charge, getting pushed back on deep strike. Yep. Yeah. Joshua says, any link to Discord?
Yeah, I don't know why the link keeps going bad, but yeah, I can. Let's see, where is it?
We'll post it if we can post in the chat, but I think it's also on the YouTube homepage for almost.
Well, that one keeps going bad. I don't know. I have to keep sending it to people. Like for some reason, the share link, only lasts for so long. I don't know why. I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
All right, where is this? There it goes.
Runai's got a question. He would love to jump on.
The main requirement is to know us or be available. Just like, we're not just. I started the channel and Aiden and I met at a tournament, and then we're in the same Space Wolf chat. And when I asked for people who were available, he was available, and then he was ranked higher than me at ITC for a little bit until Nova.
And then until Nova, yeah. Then you're doing well at Nova. And then you're going to win this tournament, and then all of a sudden you're shooting up. Runai, hit us up in Discord.
Yeah, hit us up in Discord. Yeah, send us a DM, and we'll talk to you.
Definitely.
Yeah, and just one of the main requirements, just be available most Tuesday nights.
All right.
Musts for Space Wolves, some Terminators, Logan, Arjak, Bjorn. I'd still get like 6 Thunderwolves. So you could possibly run one big, or good. 2 or 3 mans.
Yep.
And then just regular Marine stuff like some intercessors, combi lieutenant, scouts.
Yeah.
Reavers. Just some mission play stuff around that, and start there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe a tank or two. Depends on the detachment. There's a lot of tanks that are good, but some shooting, unless you're crazy like Matt here.
Yeah. And you could potentially try a Land Raider now that they came down. Put some Terminators or something in a Land Raider. Put some Head Takers in a Land Raider. Like whatever you want to do. It's like we're kind of point now where we're kind of refiguring some stuff.
Especially after the changes.
Terminators, Logan, Arjak, Bjorn, at least some Thunderwolves. That's all still good. Yeah,
totally.
All right. Well, once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Aiden.
Space Program says, will Almost Functional be streaming any games in the future?
I want to. I kind of have the space. I keep trying to get someone local who has some idea how to set that up, like the display for showing the score, how to be able to switch between the cameras, because for a YouTuber, I am very computer dumb, computer illiterate. Like I kind of find it out as I go. But yeah, if I could get someone to come help me, like I bought a bunch of cameras, I kind of got them like swung out. Like I just need to figure out how to switch between how to get the overlay to show the mission and the score and update the score as we go, and just some people to play, someone to run the computer. Because I did one back in the day when I was in Virginia, and it was me and one guy, and I was running around trying to switch the cameras and do the chat and do and just.
Oh, yeah. Josh saying there's a link to change there's the setting on Discord to change the link expiry. But Space Pilgrim, I also jump on my friend's stream every couple of Fridays. It's like once a month. But I post in the Discord whatever I'm jumping on.
Well, yeah, on the Twitch. Yeah, he was just
on the
there.
Twitch. Yep. Also, our good friend Daniel Cardona from Hobby Goblins. He plays Space Wolf on the Hobby Goblins channel. Check him out. He's a really good player.
Yeah, they did a lot of Space Wolf stuff when the Codex came out.
Totally.
You'll see him in chat here sometimes. He's in mine and Aiden's Space Wolf chat. But yeah, Hobby Goblins do a lot. Art of War, Michael Mann. He's still running Gladius and stuff, but he's got some good thoughts on Space Wolves. But I'd love to, and I'm working on it.
Totally.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Oh, Burna Boy. I don't know who that is, but message me.
Thank you for watching Almost Functional Gaming. We appreciate the support of all followers of Russ and the Allfather. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional Score Tracker on Amazon. Everything helps support the growth of this channel, and we appreciate it.